I'm sorry. Sorry to the family. I'm sorry to my children. This something that should never happen.
Today, police charged 37-year-old Milton Ferris with her murder. He claims he didn't mean to pull the trigger.
I was on the influence of alcohol, and one thing, the gun actually didn't went off. I promise it did. It wasn't no intention of me trying to hurt her, doing harm to her. I wish I could take it back, man.
I always felt like something was gonna happen, but I just didn't think she would die.
For you just to take her life as if she didn't matter is heartbreaking. But you have not broken our family, you have not broken our spirits, and you will not win.
This is the story of Malinda Robertson, a 30-year-old loving mother of 4 children. Friends and family described her as a sweet, down-to-earth person who fiercely protected her kids. 5 years ago, Malinda entered a relationship with 37-year-old Milton Ferris. Initially friends, their connection deepened into a romantic one, resulting in the birth of Malinda's youngest child. Despite Milton's troubling history of domestic violence and other arrests, Malinda, known for her kind-hearted nature, chose to overlook his past. A choice that would have grave consequences. Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes place in Mobile, Alabama. Nestled along the shores of Mobile Bay, this vibrant community thrives with a unique blend of cultural diversity and warm hospitality. From its lively Mardi Gras celebrations to its historic architecture and waterfront views, Mobile captures the essence of the Deep South. Malinda Robertson, a resident of Mobile, was a dedicated mother who juggled the responsibilities of raising 4 children while working to provide for her family. She was in a relationship with Milton Ferris, a 37-year-old with a troubling past. Milton had a long criminal history and troubling history of domestic violence arrests. The two began a relationship 5 years ago. Initially friends, their connection deepened into a romantic one. Malinda and Milton would have a child together, which would be Malinda's 4th child, but her first child with Milton. Malinda's life was a delicate balance between love for her kids and the escalating turmoil of her relationship with Milton Ferris. As time passed, their relationship soured, marked by frequent arguments, particularly surrounding infidelity accusations. Milton's behavior escalated to mental and physical abuse, leaving Malinda living in constant fear. Despite her desire to escape, the dread of potential repercussions paralyzed her. She contemplated leaving him at times, but was reportedly fearful of her life if she walked away from him. On one fateful night on August 7, 2023, a heated altercation turned deadly as Milton, fueled by rage and alcohol, brandished a firearm and shot Malinda in the presence of her children. Malinda, in a desperate attempt to save her own life, stumbled out of the residence towards a neighbor's home, trying to get help before collapsing to the ground. All 4 of Malinda's children, ranging from 2 to 12 years old, were at home at the time of the shooting. After tragically witnessing their mother being shot, one of Malinda's children called the police. When authorities arrived at the Townhouse Square apartment complex on Wagner Street, they discovered Malinda bleeding on the ground outside of the residence. Tragically, she had succumbed to her injuries. Milton was still at the scene but somehow managed to evade custody. The following day on August 8, as Milton went to collect his paycheck so he could go on the run, he unknowingly walked into a police trap. His employer, who was aware that he was a wanted man, contacted authorities and he was subsequently arrested.
I don't put no camera in my face, man. I ain't pushing.
Mobile police today arrested a man accused of shooting and killing a woman last night at her apartment with her young children inside.
Yeah, Milton Ferris says he was under the influence of alcohol the night of the murder and says if he could, he would take it all back. 4 children without a mom. What do you have to say about that?
This is Milton Ferris being escorted to Mobile Metro Jail Tuesday afternoon.
I wasn't on drugs or anything. I was on the influence of alcohol, and one thing, the gun actually didn't went off. I promise it did. It wasn't no intention of me trying to hurt her, doing harm to her. I wish I could take it back, man.
Mobile police say Ferris shot his girlfriend, 30-year-old Malinda Robertson, inside her Townhouse Square apartment Monday night. Robertson ran outside, but she collapsed from her injuries. When police arrived at the scene, they found her dead.
This was a tragic incident that occurred last night.
Corporal Katrina Frazier with Mobile Police says children were inside the home when the shooting took place, describing what happened between Ferris and Robertson.
Ferris chose to resolve that dispute in the most heinous way ever. We always talk about conflict resolution, being able to talk your problems out. These kids will go on and live their life without their mother, all because he chose not to have a conversation with his girlfriend.
Ferris is charged with murder, shooting into an occupied building, first-degree kidnapping, and unlawful imprisonment and menacing. He wouldn't go into what happened that night, but he did say he is remorseful.
If I could take all this back, I wish I would. And y'all, the camera's in my face and I'm on TV. I'm sorry. Sorry to the family. I'm sorry to my children. This something that should never happen. And I probably didn't want intentionally mean to happen. And I'm hurting on the inside daily for this.
Malinda's neighbors described to reporters what they witnessed that tragic night.
We was just trying to help her, keep pressure on the wound and trying to save her.
Neighbors who asked not to be shown say last night 30-year-old Malinda Robertson came out of her front door waving one arm in the air before collapsing.
It looked like somebody slung her out the door, or either she was coming out here like trying to get help from what actually happened or whatever. But when the situation happened, we immediately asked, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" And she wasn't responding, and we seen a lot of blood gushing out.
I saw blood leaking from her face and her neck, so I yelled out, "Someone called 911.
4 neighbors we spoke with who were home last night, including the next door neighbor, say they didn't hear any arguing or yelling prior to the shooting. Initial reports last night indicated Robertson was stabbed, but police later said she was shot. MPD SWAT team was called to the scene as police made sure Ferris was not barricaded inside. Neighbors say Robertson's 4 children, 3 girls and a boy, who were between the ages of 2 and 12, were all home when Robertson was shot.
That is traumatizing for them to see. I know it is, because the first thing that they saw when they came out the door is their mother.
In a shocking twist, Milton admitted to shooting his girlfriend to reporters, but claimed that he was under the influence of alcohol, insisting that the gun accidentally went off with no intentions of harming Malinda. "I wasn't on drugs or anything," pleaded Ferris to reporters. "I was on the influence of alcohol. The gun accidentally went off. I promise it did. It was no intentions of me harming her or trying to harm her. I wish I could take it back, man." Officers took him to jail, and he was charged with the murder of his girlfriend, Malinda Robertson. Milton made his first appearance in court on Wednesday. However, due to his existing probation stemming from a March guilty plea for stealing a firearm from a local pawn shop, he won't be able to secure bond. As a result, Milton will be held in custody until his trial. The loss of Malinda has devastated her friends and loved ones.
Tonight, the family of Malinda Robertson is pulling together after receiving the gut-wrenching news that she was killed Monday night. This was the scene outside the Townhouse Square apartment shortly after 8 o'clock. A domestic violence standoff between Mobile police and this man, Milton Ferris. Police say Ferris killed Robertson, his girlfriend of several years, and took off running, only to be caught the next day. Her sisters all rushing to her apartment to find out what happened.
My oldest sister Princess called me and she said it was her. And then I realized that one of my youngest sisters was gone forever.
Robertson is leaving behind 4 children. According to 911 transcripts, one of her children called 911 saying she needed help. Robertson's sister, Daisy Drinkard, says she died protecting her children.
I just want everybody to know that she did die protecting her daughter.
Absolutely.
She did. She gave her life.
To protect her kids.
To protect her kids.
According to jail records, Ferris has a long history of domestic violence arrests. Her sister, Princess Cooper, wishes they could have done something to stop this.
People say that, it's hard, I can't do this. And then I know in Malinda's defense, hers was, if I do try to leave, he gonna find me. He gonna find me, he gonna kill me anyway. There are ways to get out of that situation. Just try your best to get as much help as you can.
Now they just want to remember her for the beautiful spirit she had.
Please be careful and watch your children and protect them and listen to them when they talk to you. She's an angel. She's beautiful.
Yeah, we got 4 reminders of just how beautiful she was.
The sun will shine, and I will be okay.
Reports suggest that Malinda, trapped in a cycle of abuse, had contemplated leaving Milton Ferris, but the haunting fear for her safety kept her paralyzed. It's a reminder of the tight grip that domestic violence can have on its victims, making escape seem dangerous and impossible. In the face of such harrowing circumstances, it is crucial to emphasize the availability of resources for those grappling with domestic violence. Victims seeking to break free from abusive situations can reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE, 7233. What happened to Malinda Robertson on that tragic night should have never occurred. The use of lethal force to resolve a dispute, especially with 4 children present, is an unimaginable tragedy that leaves not just scars, but permanent voids in the lives of those affected. Milton Ferris's choice to resort to violence shattered the sanctity of a home and left 4 children without a mother. This heartbreaking incident serves as a reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence, a societal ill that demands our collective attention and action. Malinda's family is left to navigate the aftermath of this senseless act, grappling with grief, anger, and an irreplaceable loss. My condolences to Malinda's family, friends, and especially her children, who now face a future forever altered. From this tragedy, we must learn the urgent need for awareness, intervention, and support for victims of domestic violence. By fostering an environment that encourages open dialogue, empathy, and assistance for those in need, we can hope to prevent such heart-wrenching incidents and spare other families the pain that Malinda's loved ones now endure. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.